back. Been looking to do an explore these last couple of weeks, but it's pretty hard to pry Mavericks away from his business. He works on Saturdays, half days, so I haven't been able to get him along, but he said, find me something local and I'll come out with you for a couple of hours. So that's what I've done. I found something up there at Terrey Hills today, so I'm going to pick him up around about 12:30. I'm going to go for a bit of an explore. If you remember back in 2021, myself and Julie, during the height of COVID, visited Manly Vale Public School, which was my primary school when I was a child, and we stumbled upon, or we looked for, the Macomb Trig station, which I used to play around and we used to meet at when we were young fellas. That was our marking point if we wanted to go anywhere. You know, from there, if you wanted to head north, you would head down the mall. If you wanted to head south, you'd head towards North Bargalla Shops. West was down at Manly Dam, and east was back home. So every time we wanted to play with the young boys, we'd always say, let's meet at the Trig station. So it's been a couple of years now that I wanted to go find some Trig stations, but I didn't realise how many there were. There's over 6,000 Trig stations, I think, just in New South Wales alone. So I got online to see if I could find some local ones, and there's been a gentleman, I think, over the last couple of years who's been tracking down these forgotten abandoned Trig stations and marking them online, you know, having a catalogue, like a dossier, and he leaves coordinates and small pictures of what the Trig looks like. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to find the two. I'm starting from W, so I'm going to work backwards on his website. So I'm going to do the Wilkins Trig and the White Trig, which are up at Duffys Forest. So I rang Mavericks yesterday, and he said, yeah, I'll come with you, no problem. So they're the two that we're going to do today. They were used as markers, perimeter markers for surveyors back in the day. So some of these can be as old as from in the 1800s. So I'm not quite sure these ones up here at Terrey Hills are that old, but we'll go see what they look like. We'll still see if they're standing. We'll still see if they've got their black circular vein on top. So it's going to be quite interesting. The beauty about this is it gets me out of the house for a bit of a bushwalk, and they're never ending. I don't think if I started now and tried to find all these in my lifetime, I'd be able to finish them. So the beauty about them is they're all out there, all over the place. If you remember, probably the most recent one, if you guys that are long-time subscribers remember, Mavericks and myself did the World War II explosive tunnel down there at Broker's Nose. Well, if you remember, right on Broker's Nose there, the point when we met Peter, Mavericks has got a picture of me and Peter right on Broker's Nose with the Trig right in front of us. So that was a Trig station. That white pillar that you see in the picture is a Trig station, the Broker's Nose Trig. So as I said, these are named after surveyors. So I gather the one up here at Manly Vale is named after someone called Macomb. The one up at Terrey Hills, Duffys Forest, is Wilkins, and the other one White. Other ones are named after the suburb, the more recent ones. I'm going to do another one on the Wakehurst Parkway on the way home. That's just called the Wakehurst Trig. That was built in 1979. So very interesting to see which are still standing, which still have their veins. So just waiting for the time to pass now. I'm going to head up to Terrey Hills, pick up Mavericks, and we'll see if we can find these, because a lot of these have been reclaimed by the bush. So I don't know how successful we're going to be, but it's going to be fun. Just in the Optimus Prime backyard here. As you can see, I've been trying to keep this place under control. Grass just continues to grow, weeds just grow, so at the moment it's looking pretty sweet. Not as good as it did back when I was a child. This was like a market garden. We had every single vegetable and fruit tree you can ever think of, and back there we had poultry and wildlife and birds and pigeons, canaries, budgies, everything. So it's looking a little bit barren compared to what it was in the 80s and 90s, but at least it's under control. All right, let's hang back and we'll wait for 12:30 to come around, and we'll go up and pick up Mavericks. Okay, I've managed to pick up the big fella, Marshall Mavericks. I've pried him away from his business up here at Terrey Hills. So we're in Duffys Forest at the moment. We've come down Uchunga Road and we've parked Mavericks' vehicle just here, and we're going to head down this trail. Apparently this is the perimeter trail, or this leads onto the perimeter trail. I don't think it is signposted. But we've got 3 hours to try to find Wilkins and White trig stations. I don't know how successful we're going to be. This is our first effort in locating these suckers. We've got 6,500 of them to do, and I've probably got 50 years of living of life left, so I don't know if we'll complete them all, but thanks to the guy that's got a magnificent website online where he's finding all these himself and leaving all the coordinates and making it easy for guys like us. We'll head along down here and see if we can find this first trig. Okay, this has been a lot harder than I thought. We started this adventure today just after 1 o'clock. It is now 2:15, and we've been walking along the perimeter trail here, and we pinpointed it to this marker, number 2. So if anyone's looking for Wilkins trig station, look for marker number 2, and you'll see a couple of stumps on the ground here and a burnt one. Come in through here. Mav's gone in on the other track there. We're going to beeline, so that's what we did. He went in one way and I went in the other. We discovered it first, and I wanted to come back out onto the perimeter trail just to give me an idea of how to get in there. Mav, are you up to it? Mav? So we're just going to walk up through the bush here, and it's a pretty impressive structure. I don't know how old it is. Some of these date back to the 1800s, as I said. This one's called the Wilkins trig station. This was the last, there it is there in the distance. You see a whole pile of rocks there. I've seen, when we did flint and steel, there was something similar down there, but I'm pretty sure that was the stove or something like that. So it wasn't a trig station. It may well have been, but that's what this reminds me of. Mavericks? Mav! I wonder where he's gone. He said he was going to go back out to that other track that he came in from. So it looks like we might only be able to complete one today, because by the time we walk back out again, that's another hour. And Marshall Mav has to get to a party today. There you go, people. That's what it looks like. Imagine who put that together and how long ago. Some surveyor. I gather it's named after a surveyor, someone Wilkins. So if you see any of these in the bush, there has been a few I've seen in pictures that have been depiled, either knocked over or dismantled by people not knowing what they are. If you're unsure of it, leave it. That's it there. That is Wilkins trig. Mav? Where are you? Hang on, I'll come back out to you. Let me go get Mav and I'll come back here. Alright, we've just come in through the bush again. So we've got a clear path in. Mavericks is just waiting behind. I'm going to hand him the camera and we're going to have a bit of a read up of what these things are all about.
A bit of education by Simon.
A bit of an education. Story time with Optimus Prime. Let me stand back a little bit for the whole thing. Alright, so these things are known as trigonometric, or trigonometrical, better known as trig points or trig stations. We're critical to surveyors in providing reference points across Australia as they map the country. Thousands of trig points were generally sited on the highest and the most prominent point in the local area. Whoa. Which means they often provide a great view. This one, not so much. Even with the bushland cleared, I don't think there would be anything impressive, unlike Governor Phillip Lookout and Dobby and a few of those places. Although many are now surrounded by trees and bushes. The trig points, all stations typically consist of a black disc on top of 4 metal legs or a concrete pillar, while older ones consist of a rock arm, this is a rock hand here, supporting a post or vane. So the vane has gone, that was on the top here, was a reference point to surveyors back, who knows, early 1900s. It even could be from the 1800s. Over 6,500 Trig pillars were built for the retriangulation, of which around 5,500 are still standing. So there you go. Considering those names are a little bit hard to pronounce, trigonometrical, I think we'll just call them Trig stations. It sounds a little bit more professional, the old Trig stations. So.
Trig stations.
Trig stations. So this one is called Wilkins, as I said, maybe after Richard. You reckon? From the MTV fame?
He's still alive.
He's still alive, I don't think it's after Richard. So, yeah. And this gives me a great idea because Mavericks, a lot of the viewers like to know what hat and sunglasses I'm wearing because I've done quite a number of reviews of sunglasses online. So what we'll do while we're here, how about we place the hat and sunglasses on top of the Trig. Oh, don't fall. That's the last thing we need, scratch sunglasses. All right, we have got the Autobot hat that I found. What was it called again? I've put an Autobot badge over it. We found it at the County Council, Brisbane Water County Council building. Yeah, do you remember what it was? No. Huey's? Huey's, something Huey's.
Oh, well, the thong, you can find some slides or something.
Yeah, I found some thong, but I think it's a Huey's hat. So it's a Huey's hat that I've just bought a patch or badge online and put the Autobot badge. So that's the hat I'm wearing today. And come on, I've got the RB2140901s, the Wayfarer, that I did a review on not so long ago. These are from Risky Business fame with the midnight blue lenses. So I thought I'd pull out the special hat and the special glasses today to find what turned out to be a very hard virginal Explore. This is our first one, although I have found one with jewels in the past, the McComb one at Manly Vale, and we've been to the Broker's Nose one, but this is the first one we've actually gone hunting for. So, all right, let me get it from this side over here, Mavericks, and then we'll make our way, I think, back. I don't know if we'll get to the white one. That's down further in Duffys Forest towards Waratah National Park. You can see some rocks here, so it must have been a lot higher, yeah? See, there's more on the ground here, but this is well hidden in the bush. So if you come across these, as I said, don't disturb them, don't climb on them, respect them. Just think of, you reckon as many hands put that together, or just one person? They're quite heavy.
Would have been a little crew.
Yeah, a little cartel of surveyors, I think. They might have come out to this point, 1800s. I read that there's some from the 1880s. You think about those train tunnels that we explored down the south coast. They're from the 1880s, so late 1800s, early 1900s, I'd say. All right, tick that one off. That's 6,499 to go.
Approximately.
Approximately. 5,500 are still standing. A lot of them are just down to rubble, but be interesting to actually find the ones with the vein on top. Who knows what happened to this vein? I'm sure someone's probably thrown it off a cliff or whatnot. So, all right, that's it. Successful mission. It's the first one out of the way. So we'll start this up again if we continue with the white. If we don't do white, on the way home, I'm probably going to go do Wakehurst. That seems to be just off the Wakehurst Parkway there. That was built in 1979. So, thanks, Maverick. All right. Adios. All right, Mavericks has gone off. He's got a 50th tonight, so he's left me. I thought I'd just pop into the Manly Warringah War Memorial Park here, just on the edge of the Wakehurst Parkway, heading down that way towards Seaforth. We've got a speed camera dude sitting there. Here's his sign. Everyone's slowing down. So apparently just in the scrub behind this boom gate here is the Wakehurst Trig Station. So we've got some crossroads here for mountain bike riders, I gather. cyclists, warning. Track is closed to pedestrians. Bike riders take care, particularly at blind corners, right in the clockwise direction. Sections are narrow, uneven, overgrown and slippery. Alright, we're going to head in here because I think this is where it is. Someone's made a track through here. So maybe that gentleman documenting all those trig stations. This looks like where it might be, and there it is. It's a white pillar. It's a newish looking one. So this one, from what I've read, was built in 1979. This one still looks like it's got the vane on top of it. This is in pristine condition. Mavericks has missed out on this one. Look at that. That's the way I remember the Manly Vale one. So you can see the difference to the one we were just at, the Wilkins one, to the one up here. It's looking rather bright. I gather that the sun's filtering in. It's making the video look very bright. And people driving on the Wakehurst Parkway just to my left here, you can hear the cars, would not have a clue that the Wakehurst Trig is standing tall and proud in the War Memorial, the Manly Warringah War Memorial Park. Maybe you can come in off the Wakehurst Parkway through here. Someone snapped these trees. And there she is. And there is a little plaque on there. Let's see if we can read what it says. Geotech Station, Jones. Can't read the top bit. Central Wall something authority. Well, that's what they look like. So this is what would have stood above the Wilkins Trig station. A lot of the trigs have their vanes missing, so to find one untouched in pristine condition is great. So this will give you an idea of what they look like. So if you remember back to my World War II explosives tunnel from Broker's Nose, that's what the pillar looked like. But it was missing its vane, and on top, Mavericks took a picture of the plaque that said Trig Station. So when they don't have their vanes, on here you'll see former Trig Station or Trig Station. So made out of metal. I don't know if this one still gets inspected. But there it is, and that'll wrap us up for the day. We had 2 out of the 3 we were intending on doing, so as the Meatloaf song goes, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And we'll leave the white trig up at Duffys Forest for another day. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed today's explore. It was good to get back out of the house and do something. It's been a while, so until we see one another again on the next Adventure Explore, adios.